All right, folks, welcome back to the McKinney Podcast, where we celebrate what makes us unique by nature. Our guest for this episode is Mr. James Stennett. He is the owner and operator of your local Christian Brothers Automotive. They are located on El Dorado, in between Lake Forest and Hardin. Please welcome James to the show. Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
You are the first guest of another block.
Of the new year.
The first block of 2026.
All right.
Yes.
First recorded episode, man.
So don't let us down.
Did you just McConaughey us?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now, Fred, I know you're a little under the weather with this cedar, mountain cedar fever.
That's
garbage.
right. So for all the people tuning in, hopefully by the time this drops, we are no longer in this whole the air is toxic to me atmosphere.
You know, it's crazy. I take Allegra daily during this time of year, and that mountain cedar's like, ha ha ha, feeble Allegra. I laugh in the face. You're going to be wiping your eyes all day, no matter what you do, James.
That's right.
It's like
hacking up a lung, and I tell people, like, it's not contagious, it's cedar fever. They're like, oh,
we were at the CEO series on, what was it, Tuesday morning with Mark Dino at Medical City, and Michelle Bishop, Keith Self's district liaison, walks up to me and goes, "Are your eyes bothering you?" I was like, "Is it that obvious?" She goes, "No, mine are too. Isn't this mountain cedar the worst?" I was like, "Oh, thank God somebody understands." Like, yes, it is the worst. I'm literally wiping my eye about 40 times an hour the entire day. So for those of you watching on YouTube, I apologize. No, I'm not a tweaker or anything weird. I'm just I'm just dealing with mountain cedar.
Yes.
So anyways, away from allergens to the small business community, the automotive industry. Before we get to that, man, we always love to start with the person, the backstory. How in the world did you get to this chapter in your life? And the most important question we always want to know, why McKinney? So let's start with your backstory. Fred, hit him with that first question.
All right. So when your feet first touched the earth, what soil was that?
Fargo, North Dakota.
Ooh.
Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah. That's why I don't get tan, guys.
Yeah, he is a ginger. Yep, love it.
Yeah, I was there about 4 months, and then we just kept moving around. So every two to 3 years, we just kept transferring. So
military?
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah, my father always found a different job, packed up, and left. So different states, different city. And
wow.
So what jobs do you remember your dad having?
They're all food service jobs.
Okay.
Most of the companies don't, even are around anymore. So there's like Fox River Foods, Kraft. Well, Kraft's still there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ameriserve. They're all listed.
So he was in the supply chain delivery.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
The logistics part of the
100%
food service world.
logistics.
Did he have his own truck?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
He was running the teams, right?
Okay.
So he's a buyer and a supplier, and then logistics.
Mm.
So we packed up, moved, and regionally traveled. So, Chicago, Denver, Phoenix, Dallas, Texas, and then out in Fort Lauderdale. So,
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, yeah.
How did you survive the sun out there?
I don't know.
Hats, Fred. Lots of hats.
Sunscreen was my friend.
Yeah. No, man. So growing up like that had to have been an interesting perspective on the world. When you're that transient, it's hard to put down roots. How do you feel like that impacted you as an adult and the way you see things?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because when you go to a new school, it's always you're the weird kid, and then you're at the lunch table. Where do you sit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being transferred so many times, you always got to make new friends, new acquaintances. I think it really transferred into business because every day, what are you doing? You're trying to connect, right?
Yeah.
And so each and every day, you can connect with individuals, and having a immerse background in different places, you can really connect to what those individuals are doing. Whether it's beach, mountains, or desert, right? Or even just football or sports, whatever else you got going on, we could talk about it.
Did you get into a lot of fights?
Not at all.
No.
It doesn't seem like a fighter, Fred.
Well, he's kind of intimidating.
Yeah. I was always a small guy, and then one day I grew a little bigger. Now I look like a bouncer, right? It doesn't really work.
I mean, I'm a fairly large person, and I wouldn't mess with you.
I'm a small guy. I definitely wouldn't mess with you.
You put off that I will break you kind of energy.
Yeah, go back.
Like a miniature Ivan Drago.
That's great.
Yeah, except
He is not human.
Ivan Drago had
I'm
that really
telling
nice hair. So
I mean, perfect. Golly. So moving around that much, you got to be really good at making friends, right? You got to survive. And that's the only way you can kind of stay on top of things, right? Is just learn to be resilient and adaptable and whatnot. What was that like as formative years, teenage, early years as an adult, that kind of resiliency has got to go a long way in the way that you live your life.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Early ages, it's kind of easy. Kids are easy. But once you get in middle school,
Kids are jerks in middle school. Man. Can we just agree that universal truth?
Yeah,
Everybody sucks in middle school.
but does that include us? Was I a jerk in middle school?
I was a jerk in middle school. I know I was. I was a mouthy little turd. So yeah, I know. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even high school was interesting because I moved to Fort Lauderdale my sophomore year.
Ah.
So what year did you graduate high school?
98.
So you spent your high school years in sunny South Florida.
Yeah, last 2 years.
That's a lot better than Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, absolutely. And once we moved south, we never moved back, right?
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Gotta love the South.
Yes.
But that was interesting because going to high school is a little bit different than anything else, and just connecting with people were different. But sports always got me there. So just being part of a team and meeting people that broke in
Rugby or football?
football.
Okay.
Yeah. So
With mouthpiece or without mouthpiece?
oh, absolutely with
Leather helmet, single strap on the chin.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good
Smash
time.
mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. So just putting yourself in there and making it.
So sorry,
I don't mean to typecast you with the football comment, but looking at you, there's really only two sports. Is it rugby or is it football?
or wrestling
Yeah,
or
It could be wrestling.
Yeah.
Upper Midwest, it could be wrestling.
All right. So what music did you listen to in high school?
That's a really good question. A lot of different type of music. I didn't have a genre, I guess. So we're talking about country, R&B, rap.
So that was part of your blending in
I
and,
think so,
connecting
right?
with people.
I wouldn't say I never was in a group or in a individual aspect of one particular item. You could throw me into a mix of any group and I'll feel comfortable, which is kind of different, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Fort Lauderdale is quite a blended area, so it's
absolutely.
not like
No one's from Fort Lauderdale.
No.
They all got there.
Yeah. You got South America and Central America and then New York, right?
It's basically North Miami.
Yeah.
So-
it really is. Yeah.
So as you're going through your formative years and you're leaving home and deciding how to make your way in the world, what did you want to do at that point? Because, automotive is kind of like commercial insurance. You don't grow up thinking, I'm going to own an automotive service and repair franchise.
No, absolutely not. Automotive was probably not even my head. What I did know is I wanted to succeed in business. And the biggest thing, I wanted to own something. So from high school through college, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to own something, be my own boss, right?
Yeah.
So coming out of college,
which was
Texas State.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
San Marcos.
I did go to a year in FSU for 1 year.
Seminoles.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was the other school.
And then,
Fred's a graduate of the Gator
University of
Right.
Florida in
Sorry,
93. So
You can't win them all, Fred.
I know.
boom, boom, boom.
Womp, 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 womp.
Yeah, it's all right.
Hey, listen, we still have a team.
I still like you.
Fred's a great guy. Great personality.
You just got to get to know him.
Face for radio, as my dad said.
Yeah, let's never talk football again.
Oh,
Fred.
man. No.
Although,
So how in the world did you end up in Texas? You're in Fort Lauderdale, going to Texas State from Florida State.
Right.
It was like, connect the dots. How does that happen?
So my dad got transferred again.
Okay.
So in college, he got transferred from Florida into Houston, back to Dallas. And so from Florida State, I moved back to Texas during the summer, decided to transfer. That was it. And, it was a 5-hour drive from here down there. But a lot of fun.
Texas State's it's an interesting atmosphere.
Beautiful campus, a lot of fun.
When were you there? What years?
That was, let's see, 2000 to 22.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, that it was prime party and debauchery years.
Yeah, that was
that's when they
Southwest
earned.
Texas.
It's when they
Yeah.
earned their reputation as the number one party school in the country, beating out Wisconsin Madison campus.
That's true.
So I only know that because my alma mater, Stephen F. Austin, was number 3 on that list.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was one
Yeah.
of the reasons we chose that one.
There you go. That's right.
and
And they had a business school, right? So it's not a lot of
So, yeah.
the publication was actually U.S. News and World Report. Now, I wonder, this serious journalist working for U.S. News and World Report, a big-time publication, you're charged with chronicling and ranking the best or worst, depending on your perspective, party schools in the country. It's like, that's got to be the strangest assignment for a grown, serious journalist to be walking up to these fraternity parties and ragers and whatnot. So they're like, hey guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank the party atmosphere at this campus? And it's like, I don't, that when I think of Texas State, all I think of is the reputation for being a school where people go to have fun and get a random degree that they'll never use.
Yeah.
What was your experience there?
It seemed like a majority of it was teaching. So you have a lot of teachers come out of that college.
Mm-hmm.
So academically, it was fine. It was better for me because I had an opportunity to go to UT Austin, but I chose Texas State. And you go, well, why? Smaller classrooms.
Well, yeah.
So
You're one of 300
That's right.
people in a classroom at UT.
Right. So you could get a better education. My perspective, to go to a smaller class and actually have conversation with the professors at the time.
Yeah.
And that
Rather
was,
than being stuck with one of 4 graduate teaching assistants
that's just
and never talking to the professor.
yeah.
Oh, wait a
everything's
minute.
TA.
You're saying this is the number one party school. Did you actually talk to your professors? or were you talking with them, Friday night, Saturday
That was the
night?
trailer for the movie, Fred. That's not the actual movie.
Fred, I must have been the worst student in picking classes because my classes were Monday through Friday, and they were all over the map from 8 a.m. to like 6 p.m. Everyone else I knew had like Thursday and Friday off. I don't know how that works, but
Man.
yeah, they were having fun, and I was in the books. It wasn't.
Well, let me tell you, I did that once. I'd had one semester where all my classes were on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It was the worst decision I ever made because, Thursday afternoon when class was over until Tuesday morning when class started. You want to talk about being so slack and no focus. So good for you for having classes like that because
I don't think it was
recommend-
choice.
It's when they were available, right?
That's right.
Okay. So you go to Texas State with the intention, like, you want to own your own thing. You want to be an entrepreneur.
Correct.
You want to be able to set your own course
Right.
and be unfireable, as they say.
That's right.
How in the world did that happen from Texas State? Did you have a business degree? Did you
Right.
learn the ropes there?
Well, so when I came out, it was a Great Recession, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't find a job.
Yeah.
So after that, you pop out and no, there's no job. What do? You go work restaurants. You start waiting tables again.
Yep.
There you go.
Sounds familiar. That's what I did.
Where did you land?
I landed at a restaurant called Two Rows out in Allen.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I ran that. I worked there for a little bit, and then they actually promoted me to a management position and worked there for a couple of years, opened a few stores. And it was a good experience, too, because you do the same thing, right? You're connecting, you're dealing with issues, you're running a staff, costs, expenses, you name it. So it was a good atmosphere, and it was locally owned.
Bain Brooks.
You got it.
That's right.
Yeah. So, Bain, he's a man of faith and
Amen.
well balanced. And so he taught me a lot in regards to what I do today.
Okay, so do you know the recipe for the bacon?
I actually do.
He could tell you, but he'd have to kill you.
Okay. Have you ever had the peppered bacon from Two Rows?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
With drizzled in maple syrup.
Yeah. Like,
It's-
oh my
it's
goodness,
great.
that stuff.
Oh,
That's
He used to
like
cook it, man.
that's like legal
I
crack.
can literally taste and smell it right now. The only place that comes close is Baylor McKinney Hospital. They have what they call
that
the
right?
Baylor bacon. It's pepper crusted. It's maple syrup, drowning in maple. It's like, this kind of tastes like Two Rows bacon. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's got a little pet infringement there, huh? Excellent.
Yeah. So the thing I love about business and entrepreneurship, a lot of people listening to this podcast don't own a business, but we have interesting conversations and local stuff. And so, whether the audience is in business or wants to be in business or just likes a good story, I think it's so cool to recognize that so much of what we all do is universal to any kind of business. It's industry agnostic. Managing a team, stewarding profit and loss,
Right.
thinking about client experience, thinking about how do I tell the story of my business to attract the kind of person that I want for a customer or client. Like, that's all universal. It doesn't matter what business you're in. Those things are important to literally everybody. How in the world did you figure it out? Was it just a process of trial and error? Did you have mentorship? Because you're a manager, were you responsible for P&L? Were you responsible for hiring and firing and
We were.
all that?
We
Okay,
were.
so you were part of the two rows
We were running
corporate
stores.
structure, and then
That's right.
you learned that.
Yeah, at that time they had 4 locations, and we were running. So, opened up a new location, came back, worked in Allen. Bain oversaw everything, but at the end of the day, we were running daily operations.
Awesome.
So a lot of fun, but hours, man, I'll tell you,
Restaurant
7
business.
days a week,
Yeah.
closing at midnight,
Yeah.
2:00 sometimes.
There's a problem with being a excellent restaurant.
An operator.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and to your point, James, I think a lot of times we don't know where we're going, but sometimes when we get there, we've learned so much from different jobs and different experiences
Yep.
that it all comes together.
Yep.
And I saw that because from there I went over to at the time it was Bank of America when I left. What was it called? I can't even remember the names anymore, guys.
Oh, before it was Bank of America.
Yeah, before it was Bank of America. Anyways, we'll get there one day. But I worked as a loan officer on phone, so phone sales, right? Did that
Outbound loan officer sales.
Yep. 7 years.
7 years of outbound phone sales.
Outbound, and we get inbound too. We had a mix.
Oh my gosh,
But
man.
yeah, but I mean, tell you what, you learn something real quick because what do you have to do? You got to connect to somebody
Yeah.
over a phone call.
That is the
Yeah.
hardest way to sell
right.
because everybody does not want to talk to you.
No, yeah, nobody wants to talk to you, or they've talked to 5 people already, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
what-
getting over those objections and being turned down. Hey, man.
Okay, so
thing.
for the
Good
person
experience.
first, for the person who's out there who
Yeah.
is working their own business, what did you do to hype yourself up to because that the energy that you bring is pretty much going to set the tone, or whoever's on the other side, if they're not at the level where you are, you've got to be able to energize this conversation. What would you do?
You talking about on the phone?
On the outbound? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, first is just having a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is just entering the doorways is the hardest part, right? People want to say no, so you can't ask the yes or no questions, right? You got to lead in with something else that's going to be a hook, and that's when they're going to pique their interest and keep on talking. It was different from every person because everyone's going to have a different opening and a different closure, and you're just going to feel it. You call me right now at 4:30, I'm probably going to hang up on you because you're spam. But back in the day, it wasn't like that, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a lot different.
Well, it's one thing that's universal. As anybody listening to this episode, just think to yourself, what would someone need to say on the phone to get you to not hang up instantly, to listen for 5 seconds, 8 seconds? Like, think about it. What would someone need to say? How would they need to approach you as the recipient of some sort of sales call? And then just reverse engineer it. And we all tend to want to do business with people that we align with, values, philosophies, personalities, whatever. So the whole idea of like, well, what if they're not like you? Is like, well, if they're not like me and they don't think things the way that I do or similar ways, they're less likely to want to do business with me because it's harder to build rapport.
right.
And it's like anybody who's selling anything, I just like put yourself in the shoes of the person receiving that message, right? It's like, how would I respond to this? And then tailor accordingly, right?
That's true. You got to open the door, then you got to build the trust.
So how in the world did you land at one of the leading automotive franchisers in this part of the country? Because Christian Brothers is a Texas company, right?
It
Based
is.
in Houston, is that right?
Based in Houston, out of Katy.
Yeah.
Formed in 1982.
Yeah.
They started franchising in 96. So been around. Yeah.
So you're in food service. You're in Two Rows in Allen. How in the world do you land on the auto industry?
Yeah, it is a weird journey. So, after mortgage,
Right. Sorry. 7 years
Yeah, no,
mortgage. My bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
After 7 years of doing that, you kind of get burned out, right?
Yeah. I think so.
and it's kind of got a level on it too, where it's you can't break through. So that time I decided, hey, let's pivot. I guess this goes back to growing up, right? You become a chameleon and you become adaptable to change. So I started looking for a different type of position and landed with a franchise called Dickey's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they were looking for somebody who knew lending. So I jumped in there and was assisting people finding lending and financing. Did that for about 6 months.
Prospective franchisees?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you go in there and, the biggest thing for a small business owner is how do you get capital?
Access to capital, yeah.
And not only that, what is the process? What do I need to do? And what can I qualify for? There was no pre-screening for Dickey's at that time, so we created a system.
No pre-screening.
Yeah.
Wow.
You would just sign, give them money, and that was it.
Oh my word. Is this like stated income loan applications?
Yeah, and that's what they had people just sitting in a trolley or in a queue, just waiting, trying to find money, right? And so
No wonder that system didn't work.
No, it didn't.
I make $10 million a year. I'd like to buy that mansion, please.
Well, once they got your financials, right? Once you had your financials and you couldn't find a loan, man, it got tough. So then they just exit out. But when I got there, it changed. We started looking at PFSs, personal financial statements, and get them qualified, and looking for lenders that would work with them. And so that's what the bridge of the gap was. After 2 years of that, I ran into another guy at a meeting that I didn't want to go to, at a golf course, and he recruited me to another concept called My Salon Suite, which was franchising. And I did that for another 7 years, but it was in construction. So in Dickey's, I had flipped from lending into construction, ran a team, and then went to My Salon Suites and build salons.
So were you doing the whole thing from the site prep and utilities to vertical and sticks and bricks and all that?
A lot of it was tenant improvement. So we were taking a
white box commercial build-outs?
Yep, and throwing electric and plumbing. And tell you what, you've got 50 suites in there, and there's a lot of electric and plumbing going in because everything was fitted out. And so a lot of fun. But, in that 10-year time frame from Dickey's there, built over 1,000 different businesses for individuals. And you start thinking and going, man, I really like these people that I'm building these things. Why can't I do this?
Yeah.
Right? And so, once I exited there, I said, okay, we want to do something. My wife was on board. Well, how do we do that? And so then it came back to, going through my lending perspective and going through something I knew, which was SBA loan default rates. So if you go through that, you can find out who is a terrible brand in the franchising world real quick, because these people aren't paying their bills, right?
Yeah.
And so we did, and Christian Brothers was one of like 10 franchises out of the 5,000 franchises that didn't have default rates. They didn't have a closure, and they were doing it for the 1996, which means they've got a stable concept.
Yep.
And what I learned through franchising for 10 years was, hey, we got the operational manual. All you got to do is execute.
Yeah.
And if you can execute and lead teams, man, you can do it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how I got to Christian Brothers. The other half was, hey, we wanted to serve and serve the community, and they were all about that too. So it's one and the same.
The franchise business model gets a bad rap a lot of times because it seems impersonal. It seems detached and corporate and whatnot. But the automotive industry, if you're doing it right, is exactly the opposite of that. Right. So there's this tug and in two different directions, kind of like a rope and a tug of war or whatever. What's been your experience now on the other side? How long have you been a franchise owner, and how has it been like dealing with the corporateness of a franchise organization with the shop around the corner? Oh, hey, Sally Joe takes her expedition to Christian Brothers to get an oil change. I mean, that's the definition of, shaking hands and kissing babies, local business.
Right.
How do you deal with the complete juxtaposition there?
Yeah, I think we do get that. When you drive around, you see all these Christian Brothers in the DFW market.
Yeah.
It's like 36.
It was like 30 of them, right?
Yeah. So you feel like, oh, it's like a McDonald's, right? But at the end of the day, it's each and every one of them's owned by an individual, right? So it is a small business in itself.
Yeah.
The way you embrace it as an owner is you dive headfirst into the community, right? And that's what we did. So I bought the business in September. Now, the business was here for 25 years. So, it should be a landmark. But we still have people that live in the neighborhood that thought we were a church. I don't know how that works, right? We have 9 bays, but that's what they
church
thought.
With automotive bays.
Yeah, I guess they just see the Christian and they keep on driving by. But
that's right.
So some of it is going out there and just connecting and bringing people in and having personal side when they walk in. If you ever go to a Quick Lube and some, you'll never see the owner in most of those places. You walk in and it's a transaction.
Yeah.
We try to avoid transactions, and so that's when you walk in, we're shaking your hand, we're smiling. You see me, I'm there 65 hours a week, right? So we are in the grind. It's not, hey, we're sitting back here collecting a check on the beach or anything like that. And we truly are trying to serve the people that are surrounding our neighborhoods.
So when you decided, and you did your research and you're like, okay, Christian Brothers is a good model. How long did it take you? Where were you at that point? And were you already in McKinney, or were you actually, just scouring the countryside saying, wherever it is, we can go there?
Yeah, initially, just for franchising or our new business search, I was looking in the McKinney market. Then I spanned out to DFW. Then I went to Texas, and I said, okay, I'll transplant anywhere. If we can find the right.
He's comfortable with the whole moving around thing.
Yeah, so we get that. Yeah,
change is not a scary thing.
Juneau, Alaska, is there opening any franchises there?
Hey, why not? That population wasn't. Anyways, but so when we took a look at it.
Where were you living at this point?
I was in McKinney.
So you were already in McKinney.
I've been in McKinney for 19 years.
Okay.
So we've lived here for a long time.
Okay.
So, this isn't, I haven't moved much at all in the last 10 years. I've lived in the same house. So maybe I am tired of.
Are you getting a little itchy in
the
house?
Yeah. After 2 years, I'm like, let's go. In 5 years, you start doing improvements in the home. You're like, that's cool. Yeah. I like new, right? I like change. I like things to move. But I think at the end of the day, when we looked at the franchise, it just kind of happened that way. Oh. We're initially, when we decided to go to the Christian Brothers, we had made a decision after 6 months and said, let's go ahead and move forward with them. We signed in March and they didn't have a place for us. We just knew that we wanted to run a business.
Okay,
either new or existing, didn't make a difference. So they were giving us options on places we could go. And we thought, okay, maybe Tulsa, maybe we'll go out in the West. We don't know. We were just kind of on a waiting list. And then, lo and behold, I got a knock on the door and said, hey, McKinney's market's open. And my kid said, oh, that's awesome. We don't want to move schools because they've got the opposite problem as me. And so, we jumped on it. 25 years, like I said, been 25 years, a strong business, great community in my backyard.
Man, how providential is that? You're already here. You're already wanting to work. You're on the approved list of new franchisees. And then the shop in your home city currently, man, that's freaking cool right there.
Stars align, right?
That's right. God's providence is crazy.
Yeah.
He does whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
It's true. That's where the journey's always turning. And like I said, every step of the way you go, I don't want to do this job. I don't want to do sales for seven years on the phone, right?
Right.
But all these little tiny life lessons you get you to a place you're at today, and you go, "Wow, look at what he's done." And boy, I sure didn't know where he was taking me, and I still don't. But he's got plans, that's for sure.
That's right. Just daily steps of obedience. Daily steps of obedience.
That's right.
Not
my time.
That's right. I'll just follow what you say. Okay, so you come into the Christian Brothers. Was there like massive staff turnover? Because those guys were already there, and so old leadership leaves. You come in,
right? So
you had to immediately find some new crew.
That's right.
Okay,
and we've turned it over. And it typically happens on transition. So when you buy a location or buy a new business, you're usually going to have turnover, and usually by the year or two, it's almost 100% turnover.
Really?
Is cultural, right? So you're the head. Your culture may be different from the previous culture, and they may rub people wrong. Not that they're not talented or skilled, they just don't fit the culture. And so we saw the same thing. We had people who've been in the system 5 years or been in automotive for over 30. They just didn't fit the culture, not what we were trying to grow and bring. And so, when we look at our shop's a lot different. It's every man working for everybody else. It's not for themselves. And shops are usually different. There's usually my hours, my car. I want to work on this. And that's not the way our shop runs. So they're always looking to serve the guest first and see what they can do to push the other guy's car or help the other person out, which is different. And that's all culture, right?
Yeah.
That's not what I bought, but that's what we changed.
I love that.
It in the list of rankings of distrusted industries, automotive service and repair is near the top of any list you see. And I say that as someone who owns an insurance brokerage. and I will say, for those of you that don't know, no, we do not do health insurance because that crap is an absolute scam. We're just so frustrated with health insurance right now. But, you're better than health insurance, that's for sure.
Well, thanks, James.
But as an industry,
Yeah.
the automotive service and repair industry, like take vehicle sales out of the equation. You guys don't do any of that, obviously. It just got a really bad reputation for a lack of transparent pricing, highly transactional, manipulative sales tactics, taking advantage of the information asymmetry, as they say. The person who's making the recommendations has way more knowledge and understanding of the vehicle, of the parts, of the market, of the pricing, of all that stuff than the customer. And anytime there's this huge gap of information, there's so much opportunity for manipulation, for abusive sales tactics and whatnot. How have you guys defended against the typical garbage that happens in the automotive service and repair industry? Because most people have varying degrees of unpleasant things to say about whatever vendor they have for automotive service and repair. How do you guys defend against that?
Well, I think Christian Brothers as a whole, the mission was being a light in an industry that's pretty dark. I think you kind of nailed it, right? And what we do is a little bit different. So we'll do what we call a courtesy inspection, right? And so we're taking a look at the entire vehicle's health, and then we're going to show it to you. Whether you like it or not, we're going to show it to you. And we're going to show you everything and anything that's wrong with your vehicle, so it's 100% transparent.
Yeah.
There's no sales pitch in regards to how we advise. It's simply educating you. Hey, this is where your car is. How long do you plan on keeping it? These are the repairs that you need today. These are the things that are safety items. And these things are probably what you need to do if you want to maintain your vehicle and have less costs in the future if you're going to keep it 3 to 5 years on. And that way, as a consumer, you can make those decisions. You're not the one getting pushed a certain way or that way.
Yeah.
And if your car, we look at some repairs and we go, hey, you got a transmission or this, your car's worth $2,000. You might want to, invest your money somewhere else. We'll have those honest conversations too. And those are hard conversations to have. But I think just, to your point, integrity is a lack in the industry, but not at Christian Brothers. Integrity holds steady on what we do and how we talk and educate our guests.
Yeah, because you guys send the report.
Yeah.
Is yours the green, yellow, red?
You got it.
With the photos.
Visual vehicle inspection report.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I'll show you all the pictures inside and out. So it's not us just having a conversation. It's, hey, let's take a look at this report together, and you can see the visuals of what we see.
Yeah.
That knocking noise, this is what it is. It's not us going, hey, you need all this. This is the idea here. And our shop runs a little bit different too. We have ASE certified techs that are doing the diagnostic that have been in the industry for over 30 years. Where, some shops are different too, where they're having the guy who's been working for 2 or 3 years doing your diagnostic on your vehicle. Well, that's kind of scary. How much knowledge does he have, right?
Yeah.
So what we're doing is saying, hey, let's put the cream of the crop. Let's put them there and have them take a look at each and every car. And that way we truly know, and we've diagnosed it like a doctor or a dentist and said, hey, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to fix it. Now it's up to you. What do you guys want to do with the vehicle? And then we'll go from there.
Okay. Have you been a customer?
Yeah,
absolutely. I thought so.
Absolutely.
When you said green, yellow, red, I was like, oh, he's also a customer. My Christian Brothers story, it started just as a matter of convenience. Because you guys are very close to where we're sitting right now. I could walk to your shop if I wanted to. It'd be a little bit of a long walk, about a mile, maybe a little bit more than that, right down El Dorado. But we I bought both of our vehicles from Bob Thomas Ford, had a great sales experience. Bob Thomas is a good dealership.
Yeah.
They do things the right way. They do business well. We just found that the service side of things was not nearly as fast and convenient as we wanted. I mean, obviously, it's a big automotive dealership. I don't know any large automotive dealership that is excellent at service. They're all kind of okay or sometimes good, most of the time, And it just wasn't as quality of a fast, easy experience. The pricing it is what it is. When you get any sort of dealership, the price is the price. And I'm sitting here looking at this going, I need a vehicle inspection, I need an oil change. I don't feel like going over to Bob Thomas and dropping my vehicle off and have my wife have to come and get me and take me to the dealership to pick it up. And it was like, okay, I got to figure out who do I know in the chamber. And I asked Barb, and she's like, well, you're close to Christian Brothers, right? I was like, oh my gosh. Yes, of course I am. How did I not think of that?
That church down the street?
Yeah. Thanks, Barb.
that beautiful bald man.
Because I drive by that place every day. I didn't know what it was.
No, I see you at chamber, and for some reason it just didn't click until as soon as Barb said it, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course I'm going there. Good Lord. Way to go, James. You literally are a mile from them. And then I found out how easy your shuttle thing is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my truck wouldn't start. I had a battery problem like a month after we did this oil change. I'm sitting there going, what am I supposed to do? My wife has the kids. She's in the middle of an errand. How's this going to work? And I called you guys, was like, hey, I don't know what to do here. I would rather not call my insurance company and file a roadside claim for a dead battery. That's a dumb thing to do. Like, can you guys please come take a look at my battery? I'm like a mile from you. They didn't even blink. They came out. Geo came out, took a look at it, did the little tester thing. Was like, yep. Looks like you just need to jump, man. Like yeah, I think you're okay for now, but your battery's almost dead. Like you're going to need a new one soon. And just the way that they did that. And the second time it was like, hey, you want us to, at the end, so that's what it was. That's what we did the battery, wasn't it? At the end of that visit, they're like, well, you're at your office. There's two of us here. Do you just want us to drive your truck to the shop for you? And it was like, you guys do that? It was like, yeah, man. I mean, we try to make it easy for us. I was like, these guys get it. They really understand how to do a good experience. Because, I mean, I run a business. I'm responsible for taking care of clients all the time. It's like game respects game. When that happened, I was literally like, slow clap. Good job, Geo.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I hope Geo stays around. I like Geo.
He's my nephew, so he better be doing that.
Oh, so he's one of the new crew.
That's
yeah. Shout out to Geo. That guy, he cares about delivering a great experience.
That's right.
That kind of just the little stuff, man. The level of convenience. And George, your shuttle driver,
he's awesome.
The nicest guy.
Pastor.
Yeah.
Retired pastor, not ex.
Oh, I could totally see that. Yeah. It's like, I don't even pretend to be unbiased. It's like, I've now had 3 excellent experiences. My wife got a new battery. I had an oil change. Then I had a new battery in the span of like 3 months. You guys have had some good revenue from a new client.
That's awesome.
And it was like, well, okay, well, I don't want to spend $400 for a battery. But then when I look at it, it's like, oh, the cranking amps, you got the warranty. This is like the gold battery. So it's going to last like 2 or 3 solid years. Texas summers are really, really, really hard on batteries. Yeah. I mean, I go to Walmart, I spend $200 on who knows what kind of battery. It's like, there's no 3-year complete warranty on it. It was like, wow, okay. So I'd be remiss if I didn't give a public shout out and say, I was looking for a new solution. Bob Thomas didn't do anything wrong. They were just not as convenient. And what do you know? I mean, literally right down the road. So
what you're really saying is Stennett here needs to work on his 30-second commercial at Lynx so that he stands out. Doesn't have to have Barb be your backup.
It is.
Maybe I need to hire Barb.
That's right.
Right, you're looking at it differently.
Well, and I mean, shout out to the McKinney Chamber of Commerce.
Amen.
Because
That's
my
right.
very first call was like, I know Barb has somebody on her sleeve. If it's not Barb, it's going to be one of the other wonderful ladies that work there.
Yeah.
Rather than go to Google and shuffle through God knows what from who knows where. Oh, there's reviews legit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to post on Facebook and get 17 different answers. I don't have time for that. Hey, Chamber, I need 2 recommendations. Who do I go to for auto service and repair? And you were the first one.
Great.
Because proximity. There's other auto shops that are in the chamber that do a great job. You know, I could name probably a half dozen of them off the top of my head.
Yep.
But you're here on this episode, so they can have their time later.
That's right.
Sorry, fellas.
All right. So I want to hear about leadership because, folks, you may not know this, and I'll just look right here at camera 5. These two gentlemen are in Leadership McKinney in the same year.
The greatest of all time.
Absolutely.
In the class of 2026.
They were calling us the GOAT.
The GOAT. That's right. Yeah.
The GOAT class.
All the time, right?
The GOAT class.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, what was your get into leadership experience like? Because we've heard Fred's story now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Fred was destined. Because Elizabeth was in last year's class, and he basically called his shot with the chamber. He's like, hey, I'm going to go next year.
Not like, listen, I know it didn't work that way. I had to apply like everybody.
I'm totally joking. That's not what actually happened. But for those of us that are involved with the chamber, that are active, it was written in the stars. It was like, well, Fred, obviously you're going to go next year. You're going to have a spot, right? And everybody in the chamber was like, Small Business of the Year, hyper involved, just the nicest, kindest, most humble guy ever. Shut up and get in here. Just put your application in to be formal about it. We have a process to follow, but yes, of course, you're in the class. And then James Stennett, heavy competition, 68 or 70 applicants for 35 seats.
That's right.
Cool. Why'd you apply to leadership? What was your reason for that?
It was the same thing that drew me to a small business, right? Is connecting with the community.
Yeah.
So that was our heart and our drive. It wasn't just profitability. It was, hey, how do we serve? For 10 years I traveled and was out and like you hear my backstories, from home to home to state. And we take a look at this. And we're like, well, let's plant some roots. So we're going to open a business. We're going to connect with our community. So one was joining the chamber, and then two, what else can I do? So then hey, let's take a look at leadership. McKinney, what is this? Then I went to, I think we went to, it was like breakfast place. What is it down by the chamber?
The broken yoke.
Yeah.
Broken yoke or spoons.
Yeah, and I met and learned and was like, wow, this is something I really want to do. So I applied and went through the interviews, and that was fun. And lo and behold, they brought me in, and I'm like, whoa. Wow. All right. I'm excited. Yeah. Opens up doors of meeting and connecting, and that's, what do you want to do? Do you want to be part of a community? If you do, then you got to be involved. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's, why I'm an ambassador for the chamber. That's why I joined the Rotary. It's your involvement in regards to what you do, how you plant your seeds. And not only that, but what can you do to serve, right? We're not looking for transactions. We're actually looking to help other people in our community. Mm-hmm. And so for leadership is let me understand what's behind the curtain that I don't understand. And, this thing is more than that. It's opening eyes and going, wow, all right. We're doing great. I love this city. Mm-hmm. Show me more. And all the great people that work here is just fabulous. It's amazing.
McKinney is a very special place. I don't think we'll ever leave. We might have a second home or vacation home somewhere. I don't see us ever leaving McKinney. I will probably die as a resident of McKinney, hopefully many years from now. Please.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, it was like, I don't have any plans to ever leave. I fully expect to be here for the rest of my life. And it's like, why would you leave? Great economy, great food, entertainment, great people, just some of the kindest, nicest people, wonderful business climate, regulatory, city leadership, city planning, the development people, like literally pick a thing. Great schools, doing the best we can with a broken funding system, public education. Great private schools, MCA is fantastic as far as private education. Why would you need to go anywhere else? I can't think of a good reason why someone wouldn't want to live here.
You make really valid points because when we were thinking, hey, maybe we go somewhere else, my family was going, they don't have everything McKinney has, Dad. And I get it.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your favorite feature of McKinney, whether it's parks or what would you say is one thing that when
the guy who's on Parks and Rec board didn't mention parks, but he's talking about McKinney. I'm sorry, Amy Kincaid. I'm sorry. I didn't mention Parks and Rec. I apologize. Yes. Also, we have great parks and green spaces and recreation centers.
We do. Yeah, we 100% do.
But what's your, if someone would come to McKinney, what would you say is what's one thing that they must do or must?
They've got to go downtown, right?
Yeah.
You got a hallmark downtown. You go down there and people are just in awe.
Yeah. You're walking inside of a Christmas card.
Yeah, 100%. And that night just glows, and you got the new sign out there. I mean, it is a spectacle. So I would take them there.
Okay.
But the parks, you don't go wrong. All these trails connect. That's the one you're like, I'll just go a little bit further. What? You cross the highway in some other park. It's insane.
So as we wrap this thing up, any final thoughts? Anything you want to leave the audience with? Because Fred's about to hit you with that final question. We're going to get you on your way. What do you want to leave the audience with? What do they need to know about James Stennett when they think about this episode, when they're driving in their car or listening at their desk at work or whatever? What's the one takeaway you want them to think about you and Christian Brothers McKinney?
Yeah, I guess at the end of the day, I'm real. I am what I am. You'll see me for what I am, and all I want to do is connect. So please come by. Let's say hi, and if you don't do anything with us, that's okay too. Just stop by. We're here.
All right, so you're inviting people to come out and kick the tires then, huh?
Absolutely.
All righty, let's go.
All right. Final question.
Okay, James. Who would win in a fight between a giant polar bear and a great white shark? They're in a body of water that is 6 feet deep of infinite dimensions. There's no sandbar, no shallow end, no shoreline, no getting out of the water. Who wins that fight? Giant polar bear, great white shark.
Point of clarity. The polar bear is 12 feet tall, so he can easily stand up in the water. But the shark's the shark, obviously. How do you answer?
Yeah, it's a great white.
Great white.
Yeah. Man, those Jaws. You watch the movie Jaws and it's over. It doesn't matter what's in that water. The Jaws are coming after you.
There you go.
Friend.
And then if you watch Shark Week and Sharknado and all the others, you know that.
Why do we still swim in the oceans?
I don't know.
I literally.
But I do.
Yeah.
In Galveston. And then I sit in the water and go,
Yeah, and the water is dark at Galveston. You can't. As soon as you're ankle deep, you can't even see. And I'm like, hey.
And the guys are fishing for sharks right down there. You're like, what is going on?
Yeah. Now, as I think about Team Shark and Team Polar Bear, I'm reminded that we made a promise to have a store live by December 31. That didn't happen. We're having some issues on my end, honestly, with our vendor. We have a local vendor that's going to do print on demand and like laser etch products on demand. We have to work out our product mix.
Yes.
So our team, the four of us, have to finalize our product mix because we've identified the vendor and figured out the whole e-commerce thing. 100% of our net proceeds, obviously, we're going to reimburse ourselves for our fixed cost involved, but every dollar of profit is going to be donated to McKinney nonprofits, and we'll determine what those are. Probably once a quarter, we'll make a donation for all of the profits that come from the swag and anything that people buy from the store. Our goal is to have that completely done and set up by the end of Q1. So by the end of March, you should be able to go to McKinneyPodcast.com/shop and be able to get whatever swag you want, coffee mugs. Not this coffee mug signed by Fred and James, but in another very high quality matte finish coffee mug. So get your lipstick and your fingerprints all over it, because
awesome.
Those gloss coffee mugs are, I don't know why anybody has a gloss coffee mug, honestly. Yeah.
You just watch your coffee dribble down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he is James Stennett of Christian Brothers Automotive. All the information is going to be in the show notes or the description if you're watching on YouTube. This has been another episode of the McKinney Podcast. Catch you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all take care.